Hey guys, welcome back. Coach Bill from Chandler, Arizona. How's everybody doing? In this video, we're going to be working with our pro prospect, Trevor Hauver, and we're going to work through a series of a couple drills. These are all obviously off-season workouts. We're working on launch quickness, getting on plane, and I'm going to show you a couple of the drills that we do to get him warmed up, get him ready before we get into more of the other stuff that we do, in our workouts. But I want to touch on a few of the stuff that we do. He's really working in the off season. This is a kid who's obviously a strong kid, very athletic, great exit velo. He's got great hands, great hand-eye coordination, great athlete, great five-tool player, still developing, very young, and he's in AA right now, going to be AAA with the Rangers. Hopefully, gets up to the bigs here in the next year or so. But here's a kid who's been really working out hard in the gym. He's 6'1", 6'2", about almost 220. I mean, this is how big the kid is. And you're going to see in the videos what we're doing. And I'm going to let you look at the first video, and then I'll come back and talk. But, in this first video, we always start from a grounded position. Now, what you're not going to see is how we warm up and do some other stuff. So we're well into our session right now. But we're really just working on from a grounded position, really working on our launch quickness, working on ground force, maintaining our 90s as we launch the barrel, getting on plane early, getting through the ball, and getting to a nice strong finish. So again, in this position, we're really working on how to pick up our barrel head speed from the backside to connection, and you're going to see in this video what he's doing. So let's go ahead and take a look at the video, and I'll come back after it's done. Thanks. All right, guys, so we're going to watch Rangers prospect Trevor Hauver kind of go through the paces. We do a series of little exercises. The first one we do is we make sure we're grounded. So we go low stride hold. We make sure he's not too far back, but he is back in a preload back here. And then his hands are set. And again, in a preload, he's in a low stride hold position. And then we're working on our launch quickness. We're working on getting on plane early. We're working on getting through the ball. So let's go ahead and roll through. So as we roll through, he's going to work to get on plane. You can kind of see the blur back here. You can kind of see how he's working to get on plane. Ball's coming in at this angle here. Good connection right there. Good launch quickness. Good deep barrel turn. Gets on plane early. Let me clear these lines real quick. There's his connection point. You're going to see that reverse house on top. Everybody talks about, an arm bar. Sometimes there's an arm bar right here, where, let's say the ball's, middle away, instead of middle in or inside. Then there's an arm bar where that arm actually bars out. I think that's too soon. We don't want to arm bar too fast. But you're going to see that lead elbow has a job to do. So once that barrel starts turning and the hand starts grinding, we got that hand pivot point where we're trying to work that barrel deep in the zone. That lead elbow has a job too, which we don't talk about. Okay, it's not about locking out and becoming an arm bar or front arm humerus, whatever you want to call it. That's not where that happens. So as we roll through, especially from a grounded position where he's really working on his launch quickness, there's his connection point. So we talk about where in the zone is his connection point, and then what does his framework look like? So now if we evaluate from connection, we talk about having that reverse house. So there's that reverse house that we always talk about. Lead elbow is always up here by his ear. That's a constant in good hitters. There's that reverse house, or a lot of people will call this, on the hitting coaching side, the power V. I've heard some hitting coaches talk about the power V. But there's his contact. There's his extension right here. Now you're looking at the plane of the ball. That's about a 34-degree launch angle. There's where he rolls his wrist. So there's where he first rolls his wrist, right there. So now he's not rolling his wrist early. An early arm bar will have you do that. And then he gets all the way to the backside. Look at where his bat ends up. I mean, that is a strong orbital. Let's look at one more swing. Just textbook as far as launch quickness. I mean, this kid's exit velo is over 100. So we're working on a grounded position. He's working on getting to foot down at a 45. He's actually stacked up over his backside really well as he works through There's his launch quickness. Good deep barrel turn. You can kind of see that blur back here. So he's on plane right now. So that deep barrel turn gets him on plane right here. Gets to his connection point right there. Again, look at where in relationship to his connection point, this ball is right down the middle. And look at, he's hitting it right off his front foot. He's taking it in his framework. Good power V on top. There it is again. Power V, reverse house, whatever you want to call it. Good connection. Where's he rolling his wrist? Right there. Good connection, good extension, good roll, good finish.
Okay, guys, so in that first exercise, obviously we went grounded. We were working on a bunch of stuff just to kind of give you a glimpse of what we're training with and what we're working with. The next exercise here we like to do is what is called touch stride out. So we're working with a little bit of motion, a little bit of timing. So we're working from, same thing, from a preload position, from a back position with our feet. So we're working on our stride out. We're getting a good stretch. We've created a good corner. We call it this corner hinge to make sure you're not just driving your hands back. We're working on a corner hinge. So naturally you're in a good position to launch the barrel. And then we're working on syncing up our timing with the pitch. So if we work on adjustability off this drill too, we work with sliders, fastballs, changeups. But he does a really good job, again, getting on plane early. The great thing about getting on plane early, and you're going to see this, is if my bat's on plane and it's early in the zone, if somebody throws me an adjustability pitch, an off-speed pitch, and I think I'm syncing up to the fastball, but then I find out it's a slider or curveball, the great thing about being on plane early is that your barrel is going to continue through the zone and it's going to hit it here instead of a fastball here. It's going to hit an adjustability pitch out front. So you're going to catch it at the end of the whip, which is still okay for a lot of cases. So let's go ahead and watch this second video and I'll come back and we'll talk again. Thanks.
Okay, so in this next video, what Trevor's working on is we're working again on a preload. So we're trying to set his hands. Very, very normal stance. This is called a touch stride out. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to put him in motion. We're going to have him stride out. Okay, get to that, almost to that foot down position. But again, remember, foot down doesn't mean foot down. It means that's when you're just launching, working on your timing. So as he's striding out here, he's in a preload. You can see where his hands are right there in the back. They don't move. Gets to the foot down position. Now he's got his launch. So he's in his launch right here. So now he's going to work to get on plane. He's going to work that lead elbow up. Great barrel turning deep in the zone. He's going to grind those hands so that hand pivot point is good. So let's clear these lines. Now, back knee's going to drive. That back leg, that rear torsion, and that pelvis is going to open up. It's going to fire. Right when his hands fire, everything goes together. You can see right there. Everything is going together. Again, good connection point. Good extension, good finish. Let's look at one more swing. Again, we're just working on timing here, trying to kind of connect the dots. Again, hands are kind of set. Good stride out. Good launch. That ball was crushed. Good finish. He does this thing really well, and you're going to see right here. So he's going to sync up where his foot's almost at foot down. He's ready to launch right there. So there's his launch at almost at foot down. He's well balanced. He's got a great barrel turn. We call it getting to your six. You can see it right there. This, and I'll show you. Let me clear that line just to show you the, where the launch angle on that's 38 degrees. He absolutely crushed that. Not that that's a big deal, because again, we don't work on launch angle, but we do work on getting, repeatable motion to connection. So we're creating a good launch angle, but how we turn that bat and how we connect. So we're working on that repeatable motion to connection. And it doesn't matter where the ball is, right? It could be low, it could be high. We want to keep that same repeatable motion to connection when he launches. And again, the launch angle is irrelevant, because every time you connect with a ball, you're going to have a launch angle, good, bad, or indifferent. But this kid is working on that repeatable swing where he can get to connection, create a great whip off his backside, great connection, extension, and great finish.
Okay, so from the touch stride out, we gain a lot, and we're working really a lot on swing consistency, getting on plane early, timing your connection points, creating deep barrel turn, creating good whip. well balanced in case we get adjustability like a slider off speed pitch, but swing consistency is going to be the key to having really, really good launch angles on connection all the time. So it's not to say that, you know, we're trying to get the highest launch angle there is. All we're trying to do is gain some swing consistency with connection by getting on plane early, creating good barrel turn, great barrel depth, and then getting to connection on time. We're able to create a consistent launch angle that works amongst every swing you take. So guys like Mike Trout, Ohtani, Barry Bonds had great connection points. They had great consistency in their launch. So every time they hit the ball, they always had a decent launch angle if they made connection. So that was part of what we were trying to do. So in this last video, in the series of 3 that we're doing here, is we're working with early connection. Now, a lot of guys, if you've used Blast, you kind of understand what early connection is, but early connection is about getting on plane early, kind of setting your angle of your bat where your elbow is not quite in the slot yet, but it's almost in the slot. So you don't have to fool with working to get into the slot. We kind of put the barrel in a position where it's flat, a la, you know, Rod Carew, Pete Rose, how they kind of set up. So we're setting up that early. So we're working on getting on plane, which is really, really early, and then trying to drive through. Everything else is the same. So we're just kind of training the swing a little bit backwards. So, and then at the end, we kind of put it together with one motion. But let's go ahead and take a look at this early connection video, and then we'll come back and we'll wrap up. Thanks.
Okay, so in this next video, you're going to see what we call early connection position. So the bat's going to be more flattened out. You see some old-time players. You know, one of the players that comes to mind is Rod Carew, when he always used to lay down his bat in a crouched over position. Pete Rose too. This is very similar to how they swung. This is more or less their drill. So let me clear these lines. Again, we're working on timing. So again, we're going to work on our stride out. Our bat is already working to get on plane. Okay, its normal position would be this way, but we're going to work to get on plane. Let's clear these lines. So as we roll through, you can see he has a little bit of trouble. He still brings that barrel head up a little bit, but again, he's working to get on plane early. You can see his elbows in the slot already, which is really good right here. And again, he's working to grind those hands instead of pushing. So when you push your hands, and this is one of these drills, when you push your hands, like somebody says knob to the ball, basically you're pushing, you know, the knob down. The barrel doesn't go as fast. We've tested this theory. The barrel head just doesn't rotate as fast as you would if you grinded your hands. So if I turn my hands, we call it that hand pivot point, it does send the barrel back, right? If you push your hands, right, the barrel kind of stays in that position until it kind of falls down. So he's got to do better with that. He does get on plane, gets to a 6. Good connection finish. Again, staying on that backside as he makes his connection. Here we go, early connection, okay? Good stride out. Gets his elbow in the slot where he's supposed to. Again, lead elbow doesn't get up quick enough for us, but again, working to get on plane, and all this is like try to get on plane early drill, gets to his connection point and drives through. Let's take it one more time. All these drills are just designed to work on something specific. This is not how he's normally going to stand. Again, look at this one right here. Boom. That was absolutely crushed. I mean, he doesn't have far to go. When you have your barrel in the zone, you don't have far to go to get to connection, okay? And when you're rotating that hand to get that hand pivot point going, the barrel does go and it gets in the zone back here. Now everything else is just normal, natural. As he gets there, you can see that barrel turn right there. Great whip. There it is on plane back there. The ball's entering at a little bit higher on the way down. Good connection, good finish. Very, very solid. Stays on his backside, hits from one-legged, we call it, or from a weighted position. But he's really, really solid when he makes his connection. And we're just learning. He's just learning how to get on plane early without having too much other, we call it hiccups or movements in his hands.
Okay, guys, so that's the video. Those are the 3 exercises we do. If you like what you see and you want to see more, like and subscribe to the videos. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll be glad to do more videos like this in the future so we can kind of get a glimpse of what it's like, so what pro athletes do when they work out. there's a lot of different things you can do. There's a lot of million drills you do, and we do them, but what works best for one may not work best for another. So just keep that in mind, that all these drills are kind of tailored in some way to the individual. But yeah, this is what they do. This is just a small glimpse of what they do, and that's what we do in our lab. So thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you again soon.
I've been throw up the sex in